Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. This, of course, is a real estate and home improvement show, and we bring on guests who will help you improve your home. Whether you need a new roof, a new air conditioner, or who do you trust for solar? So we have guests on that help you do that. But most of all, we have realtors on who tell us about cool things they have going, like homes for sale, what's going on in the market, and things like that. Our next guests, I should say, are experts in real estate because they've been at it a couple of years.
Just a few.
This is Julia and Tadich.
Good morning.
Who are going to help us figure out what's going on in this crazy market.
Happy Juneteenth.
Is it Juneteenth?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. We didn't have that when I was a kid.
Now, I know that,
Yeah.
but when we freed the slaves and emancipation, population, all that stuff, that's a very Republican thing. I know people don't talk about it that way, but it's definitely the Republicans passed that bill so they would free the slaves. And they're celebrating this day, which is just fine with me.
Yeah, that's good. I think it should be recognized.
Yes.
Yeah, the market is crazy. Are houses selling? Are people buying?
Well, the market is still limited for entry-level purchases.
Very true.
There's 468 active listings in the Fresno Clovis area under 650,000. I think the start price is somewhere around about $295
That
for a
doesn't
fixer
sound like
upper.
a starter home to me.
So first-time home buyers aren't doing well right now in buying their first home.
It's a little challenging because of interest rates, of course.
Are they high? Are they too high?
Well, they're not too high.
6 and 8.
Historically, they're below the average.
So when you put them on a $400,000 house,
It's ugly.
Definitely has a larger payment.
Yes.
now somebody that was here the other day, they said they want a house. I said, oh, no problem, you can get a house, but you have to have a job with pay stubs or a tax return showing income and maybe, X amount of money down. He goes, oh, no, you can get in for nothing now. And there's all these deals out there. You could just step in and I said, I don't know. He goes, yeah. You go and you buy this package of CDs and they teach you how to do it. Is that how it
What?
works?
Yeah, no.
What?
The truth is that there are programs for specific people.
But I am a licensed lender, and my license precludes me from doing a loan for somebody who does not have the ability to repay.
Right.
Those good old stated income loans, where you look at the payment on that, and you look at their income, and yeah, they have these great credit scores, and that was gonna lead them off to a foreclosure, and that's exactly what it did.
Yeah.
So,
Hurt a lot of people.
it's, if you're gonna get a loan, make sure you're doing it with a licensed lender who has a responsibility to make sure that you actually can qualify.
Now, I did get a loan, and it was a stated loan, and it was in 2006.
Oh.
Was that a licensed
This is
lender, or did they clean up?
No, they got, I was in business during that time, weren't required to have licenses.
Is that right? But now you're licensed?
Yes.
Meet certain standards,
Yes.
and are held to standards, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Supposedly, hopefully, you don't have somebody blowing smoke up your skirt telling you something other than what I'm saying.
But you say there are some programs out there?
Well, certainly. For instance, for self-employed, there are bank statement loans, basically
1099
1099s.
Coming
But
back.
all of those still devolve to the lender to make sure that the ability to repay is satisfied.
And I think that's what everybody wants, because nobody wants to get in love with a house and end up losing it because they can't afford it.
Right, that, I can't imagine. A lot of people did, didn't they?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
they did.
Back in 08, 09,
Uh-huh.
through there,
Mm-hmm.
10, 11.
That started the short sales.
But you guys have houses for sale.
Yes.
Listings.
Yes.
And you're still talking to people, if they want to sell their
Yes.
house, they can call you and you'll help
We're
them.
still doing open houses.
Yeah.
We never stopped doing open houses.
You guys are
Even
busy.
during COVID, in
And
person.
you know what, if we do the loan on a house, we give a $1,500 credit. If we actually sell the real estate and the loan, we give them another total $3,000 to help them buy the
That's great.
house. So we're very giving and helpful.
Now, can that count toward their down payment?
Yes.
Even though
Or
it hasn't
whatever.
closed yet and they don't
Or
have the money in their
whatever.
hand?
And there's this great program, 100% financing, 96.5% first, and then a 3.5% second. It is an FHA product, and it will have mortgage insurance on it. The interest rates are gonna be driven by your credit scores and your assets, and that's really how credit scores are derived anyway. But if the first is 6.125, the second's gonna be 8.125, which is fantastic
Yeah,
for a second, for 100% financing.
And it's an amortized loan, so
Yeah.
it's not like it's just
an
gonna
FHA
sit there
product.
collecting.
Right.
Let me ask you about this, you said FHA, it's an FHA financing. Somebody said, yeah, but for FHA, the buyer has to qualify for the loan, but the house has to qualify too. What does
Right.
that mean?
Certainly.
Well, good, good. I can't even tell you how many real estate agents out there in this town and probably everywhere that do not want to order a termite report on a house. And then they sell the house to the people, and lo and behold, the people find a little pile of stuff that is a termite problem. And if they had just had a termite inspection for $70, $80, they would have known there was a problem.
FHA does
Super
have
common.
minimal standards.
Yes.
They aren't phenomenal.
They've
They
done a lot
just
better.
expect that there's no tripping hazards, so you can't have torn carpet, damaged flooring, things like that. The standards for you can't have holes in the walls, things like that. It's not really all that much.
But there can't
Anybody
be
can
peeling
sell-
paint or broken
no.
windows.
Oh, no.
or-
They've actually improved that. They really have not, they're not even talking about that kind of stuff anymore.
So you
FHA
can,
has
so
really
you can
improved.
buy a fixer-upper.
Yes.
Yes.
The carpet's worn out, you probably wanna upgrade the kitchen and
Then
stuff.
you could do one of my great renovation loans. Get an
Renovation
FHA
loan,
loan, we'll get a carpet guy to go and give us a bid, and we'll include that in the loan. So you know what? There's lots of ways around all that stuff.
So there's ways.
So yes,
Okay,
you
good.
can buy a fixer-upper.
Very good. If you call Julia and Tad Tadich, because, I mean, you could call anyone, but they know the rules, they know the lending rules,
Right.
and things like that, and they're highly ethical too. That's-
Yeah, that I think is what has gotten lost over the years. It's a lot better than it used to be, but still, you still have people out there saying, oh, you can do this or that, and I'm thinking, no, give me the number of that person, let me call them. And it's not true. It's, the rules are the rules.
I'm gonna have a friend call you, this is gonna lead us into our next topic. He has a house, and he's had it for 10, 15 years, he has some equity, and he says, I gotta get my roof, I don't know how I'm gonna afford it. I don't believe in borrowing. I said, no, when you own the home, that's when you should borrow to improve the home.
Right.
So what's a home
Absolutely.
equity or
Home-
HELOC, what are the different
A
things?
HELOC or a closed-ended second, there's lots of ways to do that. I really like, when I talk to someone, we figure out what's best for them. Everybody has these 2.375 interest rates first, and yet they need money.
Mhm.
Well, don't get rid of that first, let's get a second. Let's
Don't
either get a
refinance.
HELOC or a second, yes.
Don't refinance your
Yeah.
2+% loan for an 8.
And the interest
see.
rates on a second can be as low as 11%. I mean, that's better than your credit card
Well, what's a
rates.
HELOC and what's the second?
A HELOC is something you can borrow against and pay it off and
Reuse it
re-encumber it, use it again. You can't do that with a closed-ended second.
With HELOC, do you have to take the money?
There is
you
a
have the
minimum
option.
distribution
Okay.
if you
You only
do
take
one of
some
them.
money.
Yeah, you have to take some money. There are a number of options. It can be interest only. It can be fully amortized, whatever you want. And if you take the loan, you can always pay more early.
Yeah.
No penalties, no fees or fines,
But when you pay the HELOC, then can you retake it? Is it
Yes.
like
as
a
long as it's
what do you call it,
during
floating
the
or
open period. yes.
rotating interest
It's-
rate or something?
Yeah,
It makes a lot of sense.
yes.
So I'm telling my buddy who needs a new roof who to call, who knows about loans, and
Well, also, we've developed over the years a team of people that are qualified
Roofers,
roofers,
termite people.
termite, and all of this stuff, and we know the people to count on. They do really good work. I don't have to worry about them, and well, for instance, our roofer, I've seen not one time where his bid's been beat.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, it's crazy. He does phenomenal work and quick, and always depend on him. So,
correct.
you know,
Rudy
same with home.
Solario.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same with home inspectors, pest control, all of those things. We have a team.
You got your vendors
Yeah.
that you like to use. Let me ask you this. I think I asked you this last time, but I've heard the question again since you were last here. They're going to sell their house before COVID. They backed off because of COVID. They didn't want to go through that and have people in their house. Now it's over. This time has passed. They have no idea what their house is worth or whether they should sell it right now or not. Who can they go to find what it's worth?
We would love for them to call us. We can show them how agents come up with ideas to how much this house is worth. It's really, nobody knows how much a house is gonna sell for. I mean, flat out. until you have a qualified buyer willing to pay that price,
That's how much it's gonna
that's
sell
what it's
for.
gonna sell for. But, we can get a good ballpark of it. And I think it's working with an agent that's willing to be patient with the market and willing to do a lot of marketing, do a lot of open house, whatever it's gonna take. We have a listing on Griffith right now. We've done 3 open houses. We actually had it in contract. We couldn't get that one together. Then that same people came back and made another offer. I don't think that offer is gonna work either, but we also have other agents coming in with other offers. So you know what? It just takes patience.
Are people better off if they're not in a hurry or there's no urgency to sell?
If you don't have, you have to sell, we just sold a house that was a probate and they wanted it quick and dirty. And so we pretty much took the second offer that came in. But it was right where we wanted it to be. We countered up to the full price, so they got what exactly they wanted.
The urgency of a sale is never to the benefit of the seller. There's times where it has to happen, and yeah, you take a little haircut for that.
Right.
But with a little patience and guidance, we can get pretty much list price.
Right.
You get list prices.
The inventory, although there's a number of listings, a lot of them are on the higher end. If you're in the mid to quote unquote entry level areas, you can sell now.
What are the houses you have for sale right now? What's the range of prices, asking prices, listing prices?
We're pushing 600 on the top, and at 4 at the bottom. There aren't too many homes that are running under 300,000 anymore that have any square footage to mention. I mean, I can get you into a tower 2-in-1 for $375 right now.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
I can get you into a West Side 93722, 3-bedroom, 1 3/4 bath, 1,400 square feet, $395.
Wow.
You know, and those are not completely redone, but serviceable. You know, if you're going to get into the completely rehabbed, you know, with all the bells and whistles that everybody wants now, granite counters, you know, soft closed drawers, blah, blah, you get all of that, and now you're pushing 4
Yeah.
for an itty-bitty house on an itty-bitty lot.
What if somebody, I'm sorry with all these questions,
No
but I hear
worries.
these out in the
That's
in
why
the
I love to
public.
have interviews with you, because you come up with great questions.
Somebody wants a brand new house in a tract, but they don't want to go in there. They want a realtor advisor. Can you guys sell them
Yes.
houses in a
Absolutely.
tract?
Yeah, you might be surprised to find out.
Is it more expensive to do it that way?
No. And sometimes you can get a house for less than what they're marketing it for. You have to make that offer. A qualified buyer with a desktop underwriting approval and a bank statement showing that they have their down payment has so much power over selling prices.
And the other part of it is, of course, for that to happen, for them to go to the track, they have to be represented at that time.
Yeah.
Right.
So call before you do that.
Call your agent, Julie and Tad, before you go to the tract,
Yeah.
because then you belong to them.
That's it.
And the tracks are hurting.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean-
so they want buyers, so there
Yeah.
may be a little more flexibility in
Yes.
there. I see,
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
And in the tracks, you have all these choices, like you pick your carpet or your countertops
Uh-huh.
or options, you would call them. I
Sure.
guess.
Well, a lot of them now are limiting choices. Community builders, century builders are limiting those choices to very few things. And the reason for that is they can build them and sell them faster. They,
Oh, I see.
they'll give you an appointment level that isn't too bad, but isn't top of the line. Because that's where it costs them a lot of expense, and then if somebody doesn't qualify for it,
They're
stuck with it.
By the way, we have this web address on the screen, clovisfirst.com. What will our viewers find if they go to that website?
That is our
Website.
our website, online website. They can go in there and look at properties.
Your properties?
Any properties
Any
that
property
are.
for
That'll
sale.
put
Okay,
them right into
let me,
MLS.
let me put a qualifier on that. In our system search, you will only see active listings. You won't see pending, you won't see recently sold, you won't see those that are in contract. I don't want people to get all excited about a house that they can't buy.
Oh, and the other thing is all this stuff going on in real estate about buyers having to pay for their real estate fees and stuff like that. None of that stuff has changed.
Right.
It just is more paperwork for us, which is what we always had to do, but apparently some agents didn't realize that they had to get a form filled out.
How many
Yeah.
pages are your contracts now?
Bazillions.
The listing contract is 12 pages now. That's without disclosures, just 12 pages. A purchase contract is 18. And if you can include all of the required disclosures that'll be required for a purchase contract, it's over 187 pages. And it ain't getting any smaller either.
I always say this is why you want an agent to represent you, because how would you know how to go, all those pages, all those disclosures, you're just gonna get in trouble. if you
Well,
do
and
that.
we're both brokers,
Yeah.
which is not agents, and we own our company, we make all our own rules. And that's a difference.
Right.
We can decide what's gonna happen with all the money.
Excellent.
So,
Well, we've gone way past time, but I wanna give out your phone number if that's okay. 559-977-3583.
that is it.
And, who answers that?
I answer that.
I would say, don't make your largest purchase of your life from someone that doesn't answer their own phone. So
Oh, and
call that number and Julie will answer.
Please, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Mike.
much for coming on the show.
You
And
bet.
we'll be back with, did we leave anything out? I'm supposed to say at the end of
No,
everyone.
probably not. We'll come
We
back.
probably
We'll
did, but we'll
beat
come
you
back
up.
again.
We'll come back in a month or so. We'll be back with more real estate and home improvement right after this.
Thank you.